Sam, I enjoyed life in Leslie.
It's been great so far, yeah. Really enjoying it. I came down after tour pretty early, and about the 11th, so had probably about 3 weeks down here before the season started, just to go and have a little look around and go and check it all out, which has been great. So I feel like I've been around the world the last couple of months, but it's checking it all out. It's good. Really enjoying it.
Why Leslie? Why the Scarlets?
I think the way that they play is very clearly a very ambitious group of players that I've been involved with over the last week or two, and certainly the results that they've had over the last few seasons have been absolutely outstanding. So I want to be part of a winning culture, and so far so good. I'm enjoying everything, and hopefully I can offer a wee bit to the table and go one step further this year.
How did it come about, the move?
Things, to be honest, things fell through at Edinburgh. Was looking to stay, and then that didn't happen, and then thought I'd come down and with the move of Alan moving across to the Ospreys, I thought there might be a little space, and spoke to Wayne and John and had a good conversation with them, and things moved pretty quickly.
John Barclay's obviously come down here, you know, he's had a very successful time, he's obviously gone back the other way now, but did you see what it's done for him and his career and everything?
Yeah, he's been outstanding for the Scarlets. I think he was here down 5 seasons, and he spoke really highly of the club, of the players, and just the whole setup in general, and just on and off the field. He said it's absolutely brilliant, I love it down here, and I think it's a good move for myself and for my family certainly as well.
And international ambitions, how do you think it'll affect it, you know, and improve it?
Yeah. Well, I think the way, certainly coming off a tour and learning the way that Gregor and the staff and the coaching staff want to play is certainly the way that the Scarlets look to play, you know, pretty much from anywhere and keep ball in hand, and just being playing heads up rugby, to be honest, and being as ambitious as possible and trying to score tries, and that's the way Scotland are looking to play. They're all about tempo and speed, and speed to break down and getting the ball as fast as it can, and they've had some good results as well, and certainly they're improving, and I think it'll go hand in hand, to be honest. And
John Barclay has shown it's not out of sight, out of mind, very much the other way, that if you're playing well in this and you're playing in the league, the same as Scottish sides, your international ambitions are still there.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's done brilliant from that. He's, you know, was out of the setup for a little while, Scotland, and then came back and almost reinvented himself down here. He's come back as Scotland captain and in brilliant form. So certainly for him, he's enjoyed it, and it's probably a good move for him to go back up and be closer to SRE now.
Did you speak to Scotland before you moved? Is it something you do?
I spoke to Gregor about it pre-tour and just said, look, this is. I ran through a few options and said, you know, what would it affect if I was playing in different places, and he said, you know, it's not a problem to them. I think it's a good move in that they've got players over in France that are playing there, they've got players all over, so it doesn't affect them, and I think sometimes players need to get out of Scotland to improve and test themselves as well. Sometimes you can become a little bit complacent in places.
Michael Townsend obviously extended his contract. What sort of jobs has he done with Scotland, and how do you think he can go?
Yeah, I think he's had some brilliant results. Obviously losing to America in the summer tour wasn't ideal, and everyone's bitterly disappointed about that. I think being able to then go and put 50 points on Argentina just kind of realises the style of rugby that we can play and where we want to get to as a squad. But yeah, again, he's ambitious. He's not wanting to settle on that. He's looking for results every single game, so which is good, and that's what you want.
You said it didn't work out at Edinburgh, things fell through. How do you feel about that now?
It's never kind of look back and anger, can you? It's like one of these things. I was there 7 years, really enjoyed my time. Things didn't work out with the contract, and that's, to be honest, professional sport. It happens, and it's, you know, I'm sure it'll happen for the best, and that this has been a great move for not just myself but my family as well. And I've settled in really quickly at the club, which is good. It's all positive so far.
Gareth Davis is here, Wales Scrum-half, a lot of competition.
I think Gareth's a brilliant player. Yeah. I've been a big fan of his for a number of years now. He's played some great rugby. I think he sees a space, like he's brilliant at, you know, making breaks and just playing off the cuff. So I'll learn a lot from him as well, and the way he plays, and he's brilliant in positive lines and getting on the end of things. So I'm trying to learn as much as possible. It's not a finished article. It's, you know, I'm here to add as much value as I can, but at the same time, you know, the majority of boys that have played for Wales are certainly other countries, and that's, you know, they've got a lot of experience in the squad as well, and that's credit to just them, the coaching staff, everybody in the setup in the success over the last few years. And I'll take as much as I can from the likes of Stephen Jones, you know, Gareth, all the other players around there. They're good players.
And would you, on two fronts, two quality players in each position, coaches often say that, you know, in terms of the Champions Cup and the league, that's something, the depth they need for the squad as well.
Yeah, and I think if you're looking across the other board, like if you look at a team like Leinster, they've probably got that depth. They've not made many signings over the summer because they've probably nailed their squad at the moment, and Scarlets have got a brilliant outfit. But you know, if you look at the game that they played Edinburgh, where you know there's quite a big score, when they rest all the players, you know, they're starting 15. So it's about creating that depth, and I certainly think that's something that Scarlets are looking to do, and they're slowly getting there.
Final one for me. World Cup, long way away, but something that all international players are looking at.
Yeah, it's something, and I think, to be honest, this year, the way, if I go well here, then you never know what happened. It's certainly the brand of rugby that Gregor wants to play, and it's just whether or not I can fit in quickly and play as well as I can and just find form. For me, to be honest, it's obviously the end goal, or the short-term goal, but first of all I want to be playing well and settling here with the players and get as much game time as possible.
Thank you.
Sam, what you've probably spoken about this, what prompted you to come down in the first place?
Things just didn't work out at Edinburgh, to be honest. Just with the move of Alad moving across the Ospreys, opened up a little gap, and spoken to certainly Wayne and John Daniels, and to be honest, things moved pretty quickly from there, and got it all signed up pretty quickly. So as I was saying, it's a brilliant club to be part of. They're ambitious, they've been very successful the last couple of years, and I want to be winning trophies and try and help them to get one step further this year.
Did you speak with John Barclay?
I actually spoke to John post signing, just because of how quickly it happened. I didn't really get a chance to be honest. But obviously speaking to him now and coming down pretty early, like he's been brilliant at the club. He's benefited massively from the club. He's played brilliantly. He's got back into the Scottish setup. He's now captain. So I mean, I think it speaks for itself how good the setup is, and having a little look around and being on and off the pitch, it's been good so far.
What are the big differences from Llanelli and Edinburgh? Quite a culture shock.
Well, I was just saying, I actually came down 11th after the tour, so I had about 3 weeks off, so I've been right down the Gower and checking it all out, and it's a lovely place. The weather's been incredible, so off the pitch it's been brilliant for my family so far. We've really enjoyed it. Coming into the setup, facilities are brilliant, the coaching staff are great. They work hard, and they obviously have high expectations as well, which is great to have, because then it puts pressure on everybody else and each other, and they've created an environment and a culture here which is brilliant. You know, it feels, you know, I've only been here a couple of weeks and I already feel a massive part of the squad, which is nice.
What did you think of Stuart Barnes saying that, you know, you could be first choice down here, and indeed first choice for Scotland again?
I didn't see that, so that's
news to me. When you signed.
I try and stay away from the media as much as I can. I don't like putting that pressure on myself. At no point. I mean, you obviously put pressure on yourself, but I want to settle in as quickly as I can, and to take something that I feel like there's expectations there. I just want to come here, work hard as much as possible, just keep my head down and just find form, and whatever happens will happen. It's those kind of things are out of my control, certainly with the Scottish setup, but here just learn as much of Gareth and other players around me as quickly as I can, and take parts from their game, and I'm sure they'll do the same for me, and just try and add another string to my bow with different things.
How have you found Stephen Jones so far?
I've only had a couple of sessions with him, but he's fantastic. They're really good. He brings a lot to training sessions. There's a lot of positive feedback, a lot of constructive feedback as well, which is important. And he's he just high demand on everything. Just wants everything to be perfect, which is good. But he'll certainly help with my skill sets, and just keep adding points in my game that, you know, he's got a lot more experience than that I can just pick from.
5 minutes or 7 days. Obviously, you said how highly you rate Gareth Davis, given that he's, you know, first choice Welsh Scrum-half. Yeah. Do you see as a bit of a risk coming down here, because obviously you're not guaranteed game time? Yeah, of
course. Yeah, good question. Definitely a risk. At least I think wherever you go now, whatever club you go to, you're generally going to have 2 top scrum halves, aren't you? It's not really I think everyone's got a role within the club, and it's I think me down here put pressure on him, which would be great for him as well. It's not just, and vice versa. I'm trying to learn as much as I can. He's number one for Wales at the moment, so why wouldn't I want to be learning from him? And I think if I can test myself against him and be up there with him, then that obviously puts into perspective about Scotland things. So no, I don't think it's a risk. I see it as a challenge, but a positive one. You're playing professional sport, you're going to have these challenges and these hills that you got to get over, but just got to enjoy them, embrace them, and just get on with it. To be honest,
probably it's fair to say probably a different type of 9 to Gareth. Do you think that might give you an edge? Maybe do you think there's any areas of your game that like your goal kicking, for example, might because obviously with the weather, maybe
Of course, yeah. I mean, the tactical kicking side of things totally different. The way that the Scarlets play, they like to keep ball in hand. I was looking at games and a couple of games towards the end of the season, the Scarlets, and their scrum half probably only kicked about twice in each game. So, if you look at Edinburgh, we're looking at a lot of good balls kicks. So it's a different style of kicking. They go generally through the 10 a lot, and they like to do that. So whether or not I can add some adversity into the game and be able to have that option is something I can speak to with the coaches and see what they have in mind. But again, it's for me to learn the style of play that they want to play. If they want to keep things in hand, or in some games be able to transfer pressure throughout and then not have to go back to 10, then be able to offer that as well. So I think it creates a good balance, which is maybe something that the coaches are looking at as well.
Yeah. Are you confident that you can potentially be the first choice 9 in big games? Because I mean, if you are, it'll only help your international ambitions. Yeah,
of course. Well, certainly that's the goal, is for anyone, is to obviously be number one and play the big games. You always want to be involved in the big games. That's what makes you the player, So yeah, that's the goal, but things don't happen quickly, do they, in sport? I'm going to have to bide my time and be patient and just play as well as I can, and I'm sure Gareth will be doing the exact same thing, playing well as he can, and I'm sure it'll all unfold eventually.
But when you were at Edinburgh, obviously Richard Cock is a very good coach, but if you look at his style of play, if you look at Leicester, he likes to keep it tight, etc. Whereas you like a bit of a running game. Was that a reason maybe that you decided to leave and come here, because this place maybe suited you a bit more?
To be honest, at the time probably not. The way that, as much as Richard Cocker wanted to do his kicking game, believe it or not, actually he wanted us to express ourselves as much as possible. So when it was on, we were playing, it was on, and we had the licence to do it, which was actually, in fairness to him, really good. But at the same time, I was playing a percentage game and being smart and not playing a half when we don't need to. So it's probably adapting that, but having looked at the Scarlets when I was looking to sign, the way that they play, at times, absolutely, I think it's risky the way that they play sometimes, but it's worked for them certainly over the last couple of seasons. So you've got to buy into it and experience it yourself. And if I can offer any things throughout the sessions or any ideas, then we'll look at that. And
obviously, no disrespect to Edinburgh, but do you see this as a step up the ladder a bit? Because when you consider they won the league, went to the final, and Europe, do you see it as a step up in your career?
I think the way that Scots have gone and the results they've had would show that, certainly. I think Edinburgh will be pretty good this year. I think they've made some good signings, and been involved. I know how great it can be playing against Edinburgh. Certainly their defensive setup has been very good, and they're involved in their attacking side. So they'll be a good side this year. But I do think it. Obviously, Scarlets on paper are a better side, and I think it's a good move for me, to be honest. I feel like there's more chance of winning silverware here and winning competitions with the players that they have here, certainly. And
final question for me then, has Gregor Townsend given you anything, has he told you anything he wants you to work on in order to get sort of into the starting Scotland team and go up the ladder?
Well, coming off to, we've all got work on to do. Everybody had a little chat with him, so and I think being down here will help me just keep the fitness up, speed to breakdown, the usual things, skill sets, basically just getting the ball in the way as fast as possible and accurate, so you're always in attack and being able to beat defenders around the corner. So the general things that a nine's looking to do, and just keeping on top of them and keep sharp as much as possible, to be honest.
Cheers.
Do you feel you have something to prove, Sam?
Good question. Do I have something? Well, of course you're in a new club. You've got to prove yourself to the players, to the coaching staff, to yourself as well. If you know, it's not easy for me moving club. I've been very settled and comfortable at Edinburgh, so it's my first move. It's pretty tough coming down here to new environments with a family. So like I'm going into the unknown almost. So yeah, you feel like your first day back at school, and you've got to meet all new people, new coaching staff. You've got to prove yourself again. So I think that's good. I think I'll take any complacency away from any of my game and make me feel sharp again, and hopefully make me play my best rugby.
Good one. Thanks.